Okay. Right, good morning everybody. I hope you can hear me and see me okay. I'm in the playroom today because it was starting to cloud over and I just thought I can't be running in and out again like I have been this week. So we're going to do a session today on foam roller, and I've not done one of these before, so just bear with me. Just try to watch closely. It's pretty straightforward. Hey Lois, see you there. How you doing? I'm just going to adjust the camera down. We're just going to work through a few areas. If we've got time, we'll go through everything twice. Because I always think the first time it's just learning it, and then the second time you're kind of really embedding it. So without further ado, we're going to start with the back. Okay, so if you can have your camera so I can see you, then fantastic, but don't worry, okay, as long as you can see me, that's the main thing. I'm just going to move my YouTube camera bit down a bit. Good. So, put the foam roller underneath. This is going to be your upper back, so I really like this one. Put your hands on your ears, okay? And you're going to roll backwards and forwards. So the one thing I'm going to say at the start of this session is everybody's muscles are different and everybody's bodies are different. So if something's not working for you, you've got to try and adjust it. So with this one, if you then lean over to the side slightly, so you're hitting one side more, putting more pressure on one side. You're feeling it in those shoulder blades, you're just loosening it up. With this, just keep the core engaged and try and go all the way up and down over that upper back. If at any time it doesn't feel comfortable, all right, and only you're going to know that, just stop and just take a breather. So we're just loosening out the upper back. You can actually support the neck if you want, so put your hands under your neck. It gives you that bit of support around there. So I'm not really timing these, I'm just going to do enough time, just a little bit of time on everything, and then if we've got time we might go back. So that's your upper back. We're going to move on to your lats. So this one I really like. So the roller goes underneath, so we'll do both sides obviously. Underneath, I want full range of motion, okay? What you're going to do is keep your lower leg palm up, keep your lower leg kind of just relaxed and bent on the floor, and then you're rolling along the side of your back, up into the armpit. You're going to move around a bit, you're going to, hi Caris. So you're going to be going up and down the side, and you're going to have to readjust as the roller moves and just shunt it back. So I find this really useful for my lats here. All right, I think anything where we're doing sort of upper body work, like shoulder raises, press ups, so get right into the armpit, gets a bit of your rotator cuff as well. So just roll yourself along, up and down, almost going kind of behind the shoulder as well. Just keep adjusting that roller. So I really like this one. I should have said at the start, you've got different types of rollers. I've got one here, I'd say it's reasonably firm. You can get the wobbly ones. Ones that are spongy are probably, you need to get something that's quite firm for the pressure. So when we've had a good go on that side, when you're ready, just turn over. I just really find that so good. I think it's one of those areas you maybe don't even realise. So get your palm up. That's it, and we're just rolling up and down. You don't even realise it's tense. And the other thing, sorry, again, another generic tip which applies to all of these is if you find a bit that's like, yeah, I've got it, just stop. Okay, just get some pressure down onto it before moving on. So that applies to everything really, with all of these exercises. And you might find, I find this side's worse actually, it's really knotted and stiff. And you'll find that's one side maybe just slightly stiffer and tighter than another. So this is your lats. Okay, so we've done upper back and lats now. Oh, that feels good. All right, we're going to move on to glutes. So this has kind of got two stages to this one. All right, so you're going to sit on the roller. Now, easier is this one, just gently rolling backwards and forwards over on your glutes. Now, you might find if you just tilt your body to the side like that, all right, that it hits the spot. Again, this is all about finding what hits the spot for you. This is stage one. Now, with the glutes, particularly that glute medius, all right, that side here, that's where you hit with the squats, with the lunges, and also inside the glutes, there's something called a piriformis. All right, it gets very tight. Tiny little muscle gets very tight if we do lots of sitting. This is going to hit us. Now, second stage, you cross one leg over the other. Let me do this side first. Okay, just put your hand on that knee. Tilt your body. Now, you're really going to feel this one getting deeper into the muscle. So you're sort of leaning over to the side and you're really hitting the side. I bet a lot of you are going to find that probably quite tender and quite sore. Same thing goes. Just find that spot and you can just sit still and then move a bit. If you're extra brave, if you've got one of those harder massage balls, yeah, that really gets in because it's actually quite a small area we're talking about here. So if you've got a ball, it actually really gets deep into that muscle and releases that tension. So this is a fantastic one. So I highly recommend, now we've done this, we can bring these rollers along to the sessions that we do, right? And when I say stretch at the end, if you feel like, yeah, I'm going to stretch my glutes out, so changing sides. So let me turn around so again you can see. So I've got mine now, I've got my right leg over my left leg, and I'm just reaching over with that left hand onto my right knee. Yeah, you're going to support yourself. If this is too much, go back to level one. I think this one's really, really good. It really works. So you probably should be doing these for around about 30 seconds each. Keep adjusting, keep moving the roller if it comes out of position. Just backwards and forwards. Find the spot that works for you. Oh, so good. All right. Okay, so we've done the upper back, we've done the lats, and we've done the glutes, the glute medius, the piriformis. All right, we're going to move down to the calves. All right, lots of times I always say stretch out your calves and Achilles. I could have worn some better socks, couldn't I, today? I've got my slightly greyed, faded white sweaty Betty socks. Okay, I need some nicks. I need to treat myself. Right. So with your calves. Now what you can do, again, it's kind of two stages. All right, you can simply take the calves together, tilt the angle of your foot so you're getting all sides of the calves. All right, so this is stage one. So by tilting your feet, you're getting all around the calf muscle. Remember, the calf goes all the way up to the back of the knee, right? And actually, I should be showing this properly. You're going all the way down to the ankle, all right? It might feel quite tender. I think with this, the more of it you do, the easier it gets. So if you're somebody who's done quite a bit of this anyway, you might find this fine. Stage two, you're crossing over to what you're doing is adding more pressure to that bottom calf. Again, you're rolling all the way. Again, you can tilt the feet, tilt the angle and the points of the toe, going all the way down to the Achilles and all the way up to where, never roll over your joint, okay, never do that, but all the way up to the joint. All right, and then if you're doing them separately, then it's time to change over. I find mine are really sore. I do quite a bit of cycling, and I definitely don't spend enough time stretching when I get off the bike. So this one, if you're a cyclist, or Anna maybe, it's a really good one to do. Just be careful, take it easy if it's too much. Just drop it back, don't put the other leg on top. And just make sure I've told you everything about that one. Yes, that's the one. So that is all about turning the foot, getting all sides of the calf. All right, excellent. So we've done the calves, now we're going to move on to the quads. So quads are those 4 muscles grouped together on the front of your thigh. So for this one, we're going to come into a plank position on our forearms. Okay. Again, remembering that we're going all the way, so the quad, what's happening?
Could we go break?
Yeah.
We haven't done the other.
It's fine, you can go, but just,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so remembering we're going the full length of that muscle, okay? And we're going to hit the hip flexors separately, but you've obviously got your hip flexors at the top. Okay, so we're on your forearms. Okay, and you're going to roll forward and backwards, all the way up to where the quad meets the knee. Again, with this one, try just tilting side. It's quite painful actually, right? You do feel it. I can't hear you going, ow, but I imagine you might be. All right, so we're just rolling up and down. Again, keep adjusting. We're on our forearms. I know I'm going to forget to say something that I've written in my notes. I keep looking at them. Okay, so we're just loosening up the quads. Just take the time with it. Oh. All right, what we're going to come on to after this is 2 areas at the top of the quad. Right, the hip flexor and the TFL. So just imagine that you've got your legs meeting with your hip, and right at the top of there, you've got this tiny little muscle called the hip flexor. So for me, I just come on, so I've got, for this one, I'm kind of off the edge of the roller. So one leg is on and the other leg is off, and I'm really focusing in on getting that muscle at the top. All right, so at the top of your leg. I bang on about these all the time, I know I do, but it's because they get tight. All right, so we're just going to roll that area. Again, moving from side to side. And then what I want you to do is come right over onto your side, TFL. So it's almost like the side of your hip, okay? You've hit your glutes when we did the one with our cross legs. And now we're kind of rolling all the way around those muscles that meet and that attach our leg to our pelvis area. So we're just on that one side, TFL and hip flexor. For me, it's so marked, the difference between my left and my right side on this one. My left side is really, really sore and tight for some reason, which I'm sure physio will fill me in on. So just change sides, and again, you're just rolling out, rolling to the side, and then rolling the front. Just tiny movement here because we're hitting that small area. Okay, good stuff. Excellent. Okay, we're going to move on to, hopefully that made sense. So I think as you go through these, it's probably quite a personal thing again, that some of these exercises you probably don't really need, you're probably fine. There'll be 1 or 2 that you do and you think, oh God, I need to go back to that. That's where I really hurt. Now for the hamstring, okay, big muscles on the back of your leg. Again, runners, cyclists, probably anyone who's done one of my, interval classes, you're going to feel your hamstring. I don't think this is, I would probably use a ball for this, or a harder roller, because I feel like I suppose they're big muscles and they need a proper going over. However, start with level 1. Same thing goes. You're going to tilt. You can vary the pressure by tilting from side to side. Again, try to get the roll all the way up to your bum and all the way down to the back of your knee. And you're just going to do that. Now, to increase the pressure, it's the same thing. Just cross one leg over. I mean, it definitely helps loosen them, for sure. I personally feel, when I was kind of recapping on this one, I personally thought, yeah, I could probably do with something a bit more. Good, so just continue with those. I'm going to come back to the IT band 1 second. Is there someone at the door? Was it just that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right, IT band. Okay, your IT band goes down the side of your thigh. Okay, from your hip down the side of your leg. Now, this one can be super sore. Okay, I'm not going to lie. So just take it really easy. Right, you're on the side. You've got the other leg kind of out in front of you, bent to stabilise you. I would start kind of halfway down the thigh and roll backwards and forwards. I don't know if you can see that. I might go left side first, just to, I don't know if that's easier. So you're kind of under the hip or under halfway down the thigh, that right leg, and you're rolling up. I haven't done this one for a while, and I must admit, it's really tight. Just take it really carefully. And it may be that this is too much, only you know that. So you're kind of tilted, and you're trying to hit this, where my seam of my leggings is. You're going down there, so it's kind of right to the side of those quads. You're going to get the quads as well. Tight IT bands and knee problems are closely linked. All right. But it's sore and it hurts, but it will loosen and it will become easier. Trying to go all the way down. Keep adjusting the roller. Oh. All right, and then the other side. I've got a classic one coming up next. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm just doing my other IT band now. Just keep making sure that you can see the angle. Okay. Good, okay, so just finishing off those IT band now. We're going to do the adductors. So for this one, so the adductors are these muscles on the inside of your thighs, all right? Again, they get heavy usage with squats. So lie with the roller by your side like this, tilt it slightly out like that, and then you're basically going to hump the roller. So you're going to put your leg over, all right, and you're going to roll all the way up, right into the groin. There's no two ways about it. That's kind of what you have to do. So you're going all the way. Again, some of you will find this really tight, okay, especially maybe at the top. So just rolling from side to side. So you're trying to loosen those hip adductors. Okay. All right, again, if you find a sticky bit, all right, you can just stop. All right, extend and bend your leg. All right, so when you've done that side, the same thing. So just to recap, the roller's by your side, it's kind of chest height. Flick it out to the side, so it's coming out like that. Okay, and then you're gonna, there we go, over to the side. So you're just rolling over that roller. Okay, right up into the groin area, all the way down to the knee. And really that's, oh no, sorry, I've got one more after this one actually. So that was the adductors. We're just going to do the shins. Good stuff. So we're just going to do the shins. So this is quite straightforward, just underneath your knee. And again, you just want to kind of have the roller at an angle, so it's sort of rolling away from you like that, rather than being straight in front of you. All right, so it's kind of on a diagonal. Okay, and you're just gonna roll in and out around the shin, because actually those muscles do get really tight. Again, I'd say probably cycling is one of the areas where. So again, it's about turning the foot and just finding that angle, just to release some of the tension. Good, and then changing onto the other one in your own time. So I would say, all right, I'm going to quickly run through, just so we use the time, I'm going to quickly just recap what we've done. And I think it's now your time to just think of which were the ones that you found particularly good, particularly like, oh yeah, that's where my muscles are really aching, and go back to those ones. So we did the upper back, okay, if you remember where it was underneath our back. Then we went on to the lats, okay, where we rolled up and down the side here. We did the glutes, all right, where we sat on the roller, okay. We did the calves and the quads, okay. We did the hip flexors, okay. We did the IT band, hamstrings. Then we did the adductors, okay, with that funny posture, and we did the shins, all right. I'll run through, I'll start going back over some of the earlier ones in case you've forgotten those, but we've got about 5 minutes left, so just try and go back to ones that you thought were really good for you, okay, and I will just separately just run through some of them so you can have a look if you need to. So this was the upper back, and then from there we had the lats. So with the lats, yeah, you hit the rotator cuff as well. Have your palm up and get right underneath that armpit area, that shoulder area is really, okay, so we had that one just moving up and down. If you remember with the glutes, we had the 2 stages. All right, and then we had the leg crossed, which I imagine for many people is the, so you're just going to tilt over to the side, and you'll have one side probably that's more tighter than another. All right, we had the calves, which was either without crossing the legs over or or with a crossover like that. Right, those are tight, definitely. Remember turning the toes, making sure you get all sides of the muscles. All right, so then I'm just carrying on running through, but you stick to what you're doing. We have the quads. Okay, again, turning, and then all the way up to the top for that hip flexor. With the hip flexor, go to the edge of the roller. All right, so you're right on the edge, and then you're using that other leg, the free leg, just to roll yourself over. That's it. And then those are the hip flexors. Hamstrings, if you remember, underneath. Cross legs or don't cross the legs. Turning as you do it. So go right, remember full movement all the way along that muscle. Right, the muscle goes all the way between those joints. So go right to either end. Okay, we have that painful IT band. Yeah, so that muscle right down the seam of your leggings. Oh, that one's really hard. Especially for me, especially down towards my knee. Okay, all right, then we have the adductors. So that was the one behind the side. Tilt it away and then straddle the roller. And then we finished with the shins, which is just a nice easy one. And actually for the shin, you know, how do you stretch your shin? I mean, we don't spend a lot of time stretching our shins, in my opinion. So it's actually quite a nice one just to finish with. Just on an angle. And that really is it. So I hope you found it useful. I think it's just worth having this by the bed so that, you know, or just somewhere where it's visible so that you get a spare 5 minutes. You can just hit that area that you've noticed. And I think in doing this, you highlight, it gives you those cues as to where you do feel tight. Otherwise you kind of don't realise and you don't know. So that hopefully will give you a few pointers, and then just keep doing it, and then you can upgrade to one of those lethal looking things with all the spikes coming up. Oh, like Valerie's. Oh, you've got, oh my word, you've all got them. You're hardcore, you guys, you're hardcore. I feel like a complete wuss now with my smooth thing. I'm going to upgrade, I'm going to treat myself. Yeah, late birthday present. Good. And don't forget you've got the hard ball, I didn't bring it in here, but you can use a tennis ball as well. Just to get into the ones that are smaller, particularly in the glutes. Anyway, that's it. That was surprisingly relaxing. I should have put some Zen music on in the background.